वेलकम टू दिस एपिसोड ऑफ द हरप्रीत सिंह शो। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਕੈਨੇਬਿਸ ਪਾਰਟਨਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਡੇਵਿਡ ਹਚਿਨਸਨ ਨਾਲ। ਇਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਬਿਸ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਰੀਜੁਆਨਾ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਲੀਗਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਟਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹ ਕਿੰਤੂ ਪ੍ਰੰਤੂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੀਗਲਾਈਜ਼ਡ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੰਗ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। और इस संबंध में गलबात करते हैं डेविड हचिनसन। वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम।
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Harpreet.
If you could tell us a little bit about this organization, Canadian Medical Cannabis Partners. What is this organization?
The organization is a patient-driven organization that is focused on supporting patient needs across Canada. Patients that have worked with their doctor to identify they require access to medical marijuana, and we want that to be done in the most effective way for the patients.
So when you say they have been advised by the doctors to use legalized marijuana, if you could elaborate on this, why does the doctors recommend this? When does the need arise for this?
There are a whole host of medical conditions for which marijuana has been shown to have efficacy, quite a wide range, and there are an increasing number of patients across Canada that are taking this medicinally. As the medical community have learnt that it impacts so many medical conditions because we have within us something called the endocannabinoid system, and that system is impacted by cannabis, and if a doctor considers it appropriate they prescribe it for the patient, and we believe that the patient has reasonable access to that product.
Right. So when you say about reasonable access, where do they get this? Do they grow on their own or is it available in the market?
Well, we're in a transition period at the moment. To date, a patient has had a number of options. He could buy it through a single government source, or he could grow it for himself, or he could have a designated grower.
Okay.
The growing for themselves and the designated growing options will stop on the 31st of March of 2014.
Okay.
And from the 1st of April onwards, they must go through one of a number of licensed producers authorized by Health Canada.
Okay. And from 1st of April, as you said, designated growers will stop, so they'll have to go through the government process. What does the organization believe about this particular decision of the government?
There are some positives in it, but there are a lot of negatives. Probably the single biggest positive is that there will be a number of licensed producers generating product rather than one single strain of marijuana which has not been identified to date. So there will be a wider variety for patients. Unfortunately, I think one of the biggest limiting factors for patients is cost. Many people have been able to grow small numbers of plants for themselves very, very cheaply. It's not a dissimilar model to growing your own fruits and vegetables at home. It's a lot cheaper to grow it for yourself than to have to go and eat at a restaurant 3 times a day. So many patients are going to struggle going forward. And many sick patients, finance is a big issue.
So do you think that the prices will go up?
Most certainly. The prices, there are 6 licensed producers as of today that have been authorised on the Health Canada website. The prices range generally between $6 and $16 a gram.
Right.
Some patients are growing this for under $1 a gram themselves because it's a plant after all.
So what do you advocate basically? Do you want that the patients grow on their own? Is it beneficial for them that way? Or what are you advocating basically, and what are you demanding from the government?
The focus of medical care in Canada is aggregated down to the provinces, and we believe passionately that this product should be no different to any other medicine.
Okay.
And that the province of British Columbia should be leading the way with this and should be managing this on patients' behalf. Before they were elected, the current BC Liberal Party said in the run-up to the last election that they would open dialogue with both the federal government and the municipalities.
Okay.
In 2010, the Union of BC Municipalities made a proposal that they would focus on making this a provincial matter,
Right.
and the following year the Federation of Municipalities did the same thing. Unfortunately, the politicians haven't followed through on this, so we have this system where we have a medical issue that is still being controlled centrally in Ottawa and not being controlled by the provinces.
Okay, so this promise before the elections, which the BC Liberal government did, has not been initiated. There has been no dialogue started?
No, none at all to my knowledge.
Okay, so now you are demanding that that dialogue should start, and also that centralized provision which has been created should be deregulated.
Yes, I think certainly everybody within BC knows that British Columbia knows a lot about this product. They know a lot about this as a medicine, and it's been widely used and accepted as a medicine across the province. And we think that BC could be a leader in this matter.
Okay. Another threat which is being brought forward is that with the increasing number of people growing marijuana for medical purposes, there is a threat of more fires. Is there any research in this particular aspect that this has in the past led to more fires in the houses or been a bone of contention for them?
That's a very, very interesting question. If you look at a period just for 2007 to 2011, there was an increase. There's an exponential increase in the number of patients that are growing within British Columbia.
Right.
You would have expected there to have been a similar six-fold increase in the number of fires within the province. In fact, it's gone down by 30%.
Okay.
So although we have a lot more growers, people that have grown at home, I think this is something of a red herring, because they're claiming that there are all these fires, but the statistics don't bear that out. The fire authorities have been very effective in educating people and reducing the number of fires.
Right. And David, I have a report which says that about 70 patients grew outside their license agreements. So now when the government allows the people who require this to grow, and if like this 70 people who grew outside their license agreements, then everybody will, because it's lucrative, and you know what happens, otherwise also marijuana is in great demand. So this can create a lot of crisis and problems. So what is your take on this particular issue?
I think that's a reasonable issue. If people are growing outside what they're authorised to do, then the full force of law should be brought to bear on them.
Right.
However, we're talking about 70,000 patients across the whole of Canada, and yet we're throwing the whole program out and making wholesale changes based on the fact that there are 70 issues. I think if Health Canada were serious about this issue, then they would be making regular inspections, and that has not been the case for the last 12 years in Canada.
Okay, but I have another information that City of Surrey has a bylaw in place which says that after April 1st, 2014, they can inspect the law-abiding medical cannabis homes and charge them $5,716 to ensure that the patient has destroyed their medicine. So how do you take this particular thing? Because this is quite a huge sum which will be penalized. So I don't get it. Like, they have been given the license to grow, and if the City of Surrey goes and inspect, and if they are not destroyed the medicine, what does that mean?
I think this is a very, very difficult question. I think it's very unfortunate that the City of Surrey has taken that stance. If somebody has grown something or is growing something for medicine, and they reach the stage at the end of March, the directive is that all products should be destroyed on that date.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's difficult for me to comment what the city will actually do, and whether that has the support of the people.
And finally, what would be your message to our viewers, and especially to the government? What do you demand from them now?
I'd like them to open the dialogue. I believe they have the expertise and the capability within this province to make a difference for patients and for the population. We only have to look south of the border. We have almost half of the states within the USA now have a medical marijuana program, and that pattern is continuing. And I think it's only a matter of time that it becomes more and more available. We need to have enlightened discussion, and I would encourage them to open that dialogue.
Thank you very much for this information. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So आज जो साडे नाल डेविड हचिनसन ने गलबात कीती है कैनेडियन मैडिकल कैनबिस पार्टनर्स तो आए हुए ने इन्होंने कहा कि ਜਿਹੜੇ पेशेंट्स ने जिन्होंने ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਰਿਕਮੈਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਰੀਜੂਨਾ ਅਲਾਉ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਗਰੋ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਪਾਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਲਾਈਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਗਲਤ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਡਾਇਲੌਗ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਦਾ ਸਿਲਸਿਲਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਲੱਭੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਊਥ ਆਫ ਦ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਅੱਧੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਂਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਲਾਉ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਸਰਕਾਰ April 1, 2014 ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ BC ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਲੌਗ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਪਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਡਾਇਲੌਗ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਦਾ ਸਿਲਸਿਲਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਲੱਭਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ।